Chapter 4 First Mission. The sun was setting as Tanjiro Kamado stood before the Demon Slayer Corps headquarters. A week had passed since he and his companions had survived the final selection, and now they were here to receive their first official mission as Demon Slayers. Tanjiro's hand drifted to the hilt of his Nichiren sword, its weight still unfamiliar but comforting. He took a deep breath, centering himself as Urokodaki had taught him. "Nervous, Tanjiro?" Zenitsu asked beside him, his voice trembling slightly. "A little," Tanjiro admitted with a small smile, "but it's what we have to do. Remember why we're here." Inosuke, still wearing his boar mask, snorted derisively. "What's there to be nervous about? We just gotta slay some demons, right? I bet I'll kill more than both of you combined." As they conversed, a crow suddenly descended from the sky, landing on Tanjiro's shoulder, its beady eyes fixed on the young demon slayer as it delivered their mission. "10 ri to the north-northwest," the crow called. "Women are disappearing. Investigate and eliminate the demon responsible." Tanjiro's eyes gleamed with determination. "Let's go," he said, his voice firm and resolute. The 3 demon slayers set off immediately. As they neared their destination, they gathered information from the local villagers. An old man approached them as they entered the village. "Are you the demon slayers we sent for?" he asked, hope evident in his voice. Tanjiro nodded. "Yes, we are. Can you tell us more about what's been happening here?" 5 young women have vanished in the past week," the old man said, his voice barely above a whisper. "It always happens at night. They just disappear without a trace." "Any pattern to the disappearances?" Tanjiro pressed. "It seems to target women who are alone at night," the old man replied. "No one's seen the creature responsible, but we've all felt it. An evil presence in the darkness." Tanjiro nodded gravely. "Don't worry, we'll definitely resolve this. Please, tell everyone to stay indoors after nightfall. We'll handle the rest." As night fell, the 3 demon slayers began their patrol of the village. The streets were eerily quiet, the usually bustling marketplace now deserted. Tanjiro's senses were on high alert, his nose working overtime to catch any hint of a demon scent. Suddenly, Tanjiro's nostrils flared, the scent of blood. "This way." They rushed down a dark alley, following Tanjiro's lead. As they turned the corner, they came upon a horrifying scene. A young woman was backed against a wall, terror etched on her face as a monstrous figure loomed over her. The demon was unlike any they had faced before. Its body was grotesquely elongated, with multiple arms ending in razor-sharp claws. Its face was a nightmare of misshapen features, with glowing red eyes, and a mouth full of needle-like teeth. "Water-breathing, first-form water surface, slash," Tanjiro shouted as he launched into action. His sword traced an arc through the air, leaving a trail of water in its wake as it slashed across the demon's back. The demon howled in pain and surprise, whirling around to face its attackers. "Demon slayers?" it hissed. "How interesting. I was getting bored with these weak humans. You'll make for much more entertaining prey." The battle began in earnest. Tanjiro's water-breathing techniques allowed him to flow around the demon's attacks, while Zenitsu's thunder-breathing gave him bursts of incredible speed. Inosuke attacked relentlessly with his beast, breathing, his dual blades a whirlwind of steel. But this demon was strong, far stronger than the ones they had faced during the final selection. It moved with a speed that belied its twisted form, its multiple arms, allowing it to attack and defend simultaneously. "Watch out for its claws," Tanjiro called out. "They're venomous," Zenitsu yelped in fear. "Venomous? I don't want to die." "Then don't get hit, you idiot," Inosuke yelled back, his excitement evident even through his mask. The fight raged on, the clash of steel against demonic flesh, echoing through the deserted streets. Tanjiro could feel his stamina beginning to wane. They needed to end this quickly. Zenitsu. Inosuke. He called out. We need to coordinate our attacks. But before they could form a plan, the demon saw an opening. With lightning speed, it charged towards Zenitsu, who had momentarily lowered his guard. Zenitsu, watch out, Tanjiro yelled, his heart in his throat. Time seemed to slow down. Zenitsu, paralyzed with fear, closed his eyes tightly. But then, something incredible happened. His body began to move on its own, as if guided by instinct or muscle memory. Thunder breathing, first form thunderclap and flash, in a blur of movement almost too fast for the eye to follow. Zenitsu's sword lashed out. There was a crack like lightning, and suddenly the demon's head was flying through the air, separated from its body. The demon's eyes widened in shock and disbelief, as its body began to crumble into ash. Impossible, it gasped out before disappearing entirely. For a moment, no one moved. The sudden end to the intense battle left them all in a state of stunned silence. Then, slowly, Zenitsu opened his eyes. What happened? He asked, looking around in confusion. Did I do that? Tanjiro couldn't help but laugh, relief and amazement mingling in his voice. You did it, Zenitsu. That was incredible. Inosuke, not to be outdone, immediately began boasting about how he had weakened the demon, making it possible for Zenitsu to land the final blow. But there was a note of respect in his voice that hadn't been there before. After ensuring the rescued woman was safe and calming the villagers, the three demon slayers finally had a moment to catch their breath. We really did it, Zenitsu said, still seeming unable to believe what had transpired. We defeated a real demon. Inosuke pumped his fist in the air. Of course we did. We're the strongest demon slayers ever. No demon stands a chance against us. Tanjiro smiled at his companion's enthusiasm, but his expression soon turned serious. This is just the beginning, he reminded them. There are still many demons out there, causing suffering and pain. And, his hand unconsciously went to the box on his back, where Nezuko slept. We still need to find a way to turn humans who've been transformed into demons back to normal. His words sobered the group. They had won this battle, but the war against demons was far from over. As they prepared to return to headquarters to report their success, Tanjiro took a moment to look up at the star-filled sky. Nezuko, he thought, wait just a little longer. I'm getting stronger every day. I'll definitely find a way to save you. The journey back was filled with excited recounting of the battle, with Zenitsu alternating between boasting about his final move, and fretting about how close he had come to death. Inosuke continued to claim that he had done most of the work, while Tanjiro just smiled and let them talk, content in the knowledge that they had saved lives today. As they approached the Demon Slayer headquarters, Tanjiro felt a renewed sense of purpose. This mission had shown him the reality of what it meant to be a demon slayer. It wasn't just about revenge for his family or saving Nezuko. It was about protecting everyone from the threat of demons, about ensuring that no one else would have to suffer the loss and pain that he had experienced. The path ahead would be difficult. There would be stronger demons, more dangerous missions, and countless challenges to overcome. But as Tanjiro looked at his companions, Zenitsu, with his hidden reserves of courage, and Inosuke, with his wild strength and determination, he felt hope. Together, they could face whatever lay ahead. As they reported their success to their superiors, Tanjiro couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. They had taken their first steps as true demon slayers. It was just the beginning of their journey, but it was a strong start. That night, as Tanjiro lay in his bed, his thoughts turned to the future. He knew that each mission would bring them closer to their goals. Stronger demons meant more information, more chances to find a cure for Nezuko and others like her. It also meant honing their skills, becoming strong enough to face the demons, who posed the greatest threats to humanity. He thought of Muzan Kibitsuji, the progenitor of all demons, the one responsible for the death of his family and Nezuko's transformation. One day, Tanjiro knew, they would have to face him. The thought was terrifying, but Tanjiro didn't let fear overcome him. Instead, he used it as motivation, a reminder of why he had become a demon slayer in the first place. As sleep began to overtake him, Tanjiro made a silent vow. He would continue to grow stronger, to protect the weak and fight against the demons that threatened humanity. And no matter how long it took, no matter what obstacles stood in his way, he would find a way to save Nezuko and defeat Muzan Kibitsuji. With these thoughts, Tanjiro drifted off to sleep, ready to face whatever challenges the next day might bring. The journey of the young demon slayer had truly begun, and the world would never be the same.